two, one, go. Hello, everybody. This is Shirley with Shirley's Threadwork, and this is Shirley's Wind Down Tuesday. Thank you so much for stopping by. I do appreciate it. I'm hoping that everybody is uh, finding me well. Like I said a couple of weeks ago, I did switch to a new platform. I'm using Restream. I'm no longer using the one before, and I'm still learning it. So I'm hoping I'm getting on and everything is working out just fine without any issues. Um, with that being said, I want to say hi to Kingsbury Craft and hi to Robin. Thank you guys for stopping in. I also want to give a good shout out to everybody that is watching in YouTube land as well as Facebook. And I also want to say hello to everybody and thank you for everyone that will be watching the replay because I do know that quite a few people watch the replay. But I do want to encourage everybody, if you're watching, just join the chat, even if it's just for a little bit, or even if it's just for a comment or a statement or a question or what have you. I know when I watch a lot of the live streams that I watch, I'm usually watching it from my big screen TV in my bedroom, but I'm also looking at it on my phone so I can chat. So if that is you as well, don't hesitate to chime in and ask a question, participate, or whatever it is that you're interested in doing. I do appreciate it. The more, the merrier. Hi, ATB Marketing. How are you? Thank you for stopping by. I do appreciate that so much. Well, I have been very, very busy this week, and I'll probably be busy for the rest of the month because I have a project that I'm working on, and I will show it to you when it's completed. Um, Something I've done already, but I'm doing it again. And sometime I think I need to have my head examined. But I'm sure most of you remember. It's been 2 years ago now. Yeah, 2 years ago this month. Well, last month in October, and I think we forgot to celebrate our 2 year anniversary. And Robin, you're on here, and correct me if I'm wrong. I think this is 2 year and not 3 years because time flies and I can't remember. But anyway, it may be, I'm thinking it's 2 years. So, like I said, correct me if I'm wrong. But we all got together and did this big, beautiful Christmas tree skirt that was very intricate, had a lot of work to do, a total of 45 hoopings, regardless of what design you purchase from Designed by Juju. She still has these beautiful Christmas tree skirt designs as well as the one which is the North Pole. That's the same one I did before, as well as Nativity. I think she has the Nutcracker now. She has, I think, gingerbread men, what have you. And I don't know what they're costing right now, but they do have it. So anyway, I decided to give someone with a skirt this year, and I'm wanting to get it done by Thanksgiving because they normally put their tree up right after Thanksgiving, and I want to have it done so they can use it this year if at all possible. So I have been busting my behind. If you look behind me, you see this pile of red stuff back there, where that's the panels that I'm working on, and I am about 50% there. So I've done the first row of 15 and half of the row of 15. I mean, I have the other half, seven more to do plus 15. So I'm halfway there. I'm getting a little optimistic. I was kind of worried, but now that I think about it, I'm doing pretty good. So I think I will be on task in time. So that's what I've been doing all of this weekend, all of last week, and all of this weekend, and yesterday and today. And I know I will be doing this tomorrow night and every night up until I am done. And Robin, you say I'm brave. I don't know if I'm brave or crazy, but I decided to do it. And you say it's been 2 years. I thought it was, yeah, like I said, 2 or 3. Time just lies. I can't remember anymore. If it's two, three, one, I knew it was more than one because we celebrated our 1 year anniversary, and I guess that was last year. So we missed it this year, but October the 11th of this past year would have made 2 years for our social society crew Zoom group where we get together every Wednesday night and we do projects. And when we're done with the projects, then we do the reveal here on my live. We kind of fell by the wayside this month. Well, not this month, November, October, pretty much latter part of September and October. We were doing some what we call UFOs, unfinished objects or unfinished projects. And I think some of us finished some of us didn't. And those of us that did finish some, we went on and gave them away or sold them or whatever the plan was. So we really didn't have anything to show you guys. So I'm a little disappointed with myself because I know I was one of the ones that gave things away because I got done with it and I just wanted to go ahead and do what I needed to do with it. But we're going to try to get something done for the Christmas holiday, hopefully. I know that the holiday is upon us, and this is what I'm going to be talking about tonight. But and I know we're busy with all of our gifts and projects and decors and sales and all of that kind of stuff. And those of us that are doing Jeanette's Elfsters, all of that. So we're busy, 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 but yet and still we'll try to get in a project, hopefully. So we'll talk about that tomorrow night. But anyway, want to say hi to Rebecca. How are you? Thank you for stopping by. And also to Margot. Thank you for stopping by. And you want to know how are my eyes doing? Well, the one eye, this one is the one that I had done. As you can see, I still have my glasses on. I can see pretty good. Actually, I really don't need them, so I don't know why I keep just habit of wearing them. And I got to break the habit of wearing my glasses. But anyway, I can see pretty good. I ordered me some readers, which are similar to what I already have, and I can't see out of them. It's ridiculous. It's kind of weird. So I'm going to wait until um, Monday or Tuesday, I guess. Tuesday when I go to the doctor because Monday, if you guys remember, is when I'm having my right eye done. Left one done already, and I will be doing the right eye on Monday. And with that being said, I'm pretty certain that I will not be on air on Tuesday. I go back for my 1 day checkup, and I had to see the cuff and all that stuff on. They'll most likely tell me I can take it off, but I don't want to strain my eye trying to see the computer and preparing and all that kind of stuff. So I decided not. So I'm telling you guys in advance so I don't have to put out an extra a message to everybody. So pass the word to everybody that you know that there will be no live stream or no wind down Tuesday next Tuesday. But I will be back, and I guess that will be the week of Thanksgiving that I will be back. So thanks for asking. And how are you doing? Hope you start to feel better. I'm feeling I'm feeling pretty good right now. I got other stuff going on, but I ain't gonna talk about that right now. But as far as my eyes are concerned, I'm adjusting. I'm adjusting. This one is fixed for distance, but they told me I probably need to have readers. Right now, I'm not having that issue. And of course, this one, I could see close up anyway. What I have found out and what I'm very happy about is I can now drive without glasses on. And so I know once I get the right eye done, it's really going to be good where I'll be able to drive without glasses, and then hopefully I will be able to drive at night and see a whole lot better. So I am looking forward to that. That is something that I am definitely hoping is going to go my way. So that's pretty much the update on me and my eyeballs. And I have to tell you, there have been no pain, no real discomfort. I am getting used to, there is a lens in there, not just your eye. So you have a foreign object in your eye. So there is some type of adjustment that occurs. People don't tell you that up front, but it's not just put it in and go on. There is an adjustment that you have to go through. Not only are you adjusting the vision change, you are also adjusting to the fact that there is a foreign object in your eye. And normally you don't feel it, but every once in a while, for me anyway, it feels like I have contacts in. And because I wore contacts before. And they don't hurt, they're really not uncomfortable. It's just something that you notice. And I'm hoping that that will eventually completely go away. And everything will be normal, and I'll totally forget that I have anything in my eye. So that's the way it go. And Jenny, you said that's interesting. Yeah, and I'm glad I did wait until after I had my eye surgery done. I ran across some more videos talking about cataract surgery and what to expect afterwards. And believe it or not, there were people on there, doctors allegedly, that were trying to tell people about some of the things that go on after the surgery, and the fact that you still have to be very aware and very diligent and understand the fact that not necessarily side effects, but there are situations that occur. It's just like any other surgery, and I've had many. You're never the same. You're never going to ever be 100% back natural because it's no longer natural. You do have a foreign object in your eye or body or what have you. And occasionally I do feel it, but it doesn't hurt. So it's no big deal. It's just having to get it out of my head, I guess, knowing that there's something there. Because I try not to rub my eye, and because they tell you not to rub your eye initially anyway. So I still try not to rub my eye at all, even though I sometimes feel like something's in it. And that's the first thing you want to do is rub it and get it out. And then you realize, you don't want to do that. So that's kind of how it goes. So enough about my eyes again. And like I said, I will keep you guys posted and all of that kind of stuff, just in case there's somebody out there is interested in having cataract surgery and was told they need to have it or whatever you'll have a firsthand um, information on how it affected me. I did hear from other people that I know that had this, and they pretty much told me big deal, no changes, so forth and so on. But I guess me being in the medical field or what have you, I'm a little bit more with my information because I kind of like to give the full disclosure when it comes down to anything that has to do with medicine. So, tonight, what are we going to do? We are going to get into the holiday spirit. Holiday stitch fit. Fit is the fix, not fit. Holiday stitch fix is the topic, and we're going to talk about thankful stitches. Now, what I have prepared for you tonight is a short slide presentation. I think it's about 9 slides, and just talk briefly about items that can be done and done quickly. Um, we're kicking well, I'm not necessarily sure I'm going to do the mini series of 6 weeks like I did before. I don't know, I might be changing up stuff, but I do know that the holiday is up on us. New Year's will be here before you know it, and this is the time where we're doing gifts and decor and orders and what have you, all of that stuff that's keeping us busy. And so I want to help everybody stay creative and stay sane and talk about simple, doable ideas for every holiday. And therefore, we are starting off with Thanksgiving because that's the one that's coming up next, and talk about quick, gratitude inspired projects that make perfect hostess gifts, table accents, or personal keepsakes. So that is what we're going to be talking about tonight. And this is the time to make our embroidery shine, the holiday season. I don't know about you guys, but pretty much for me and most of the people that I talk to, the Christmas season or the holiday season, Thanksgiving, well, starting with Halloween, basically, because there's a lot of people that celebrate Halloween and they love to do Halloween designs and what have you. But starting in October, from Halloween all the way through New Year's, is usually the busiest season when it comes down to doing projects, whether you do them to sell or to give or just for your own personal decor. It seems like we are so busy working on projects, and we just seem to stretch ourselves out. And sometimes you could be searching, trying to figure out what can I do quickly and not have to spend so much time, because it can take a lot of time. If you think about this project I got behind me, I got a month's worth of work. I've been working on it for at least 2.5 weeks. And I know I have another good week and a half of work, if not a few extra days, that I have to work on this project to get it all together. Because once I get all 45 panels stitched out, I have to put those 45 panels together and create 15 panels to go around. Once I get the 15 panels to go around, then I have to put them together to actually create the skirt. And once you get the skated, then you got to put the backing on it and the binding on it. So it's a process, and it takes a minute to do it. And the second row that I'm working on is when I do those little bitty cutout pieces of applique. I mean, it's so much applique on each one of the little blocks. It's just, oh gosh, it's interesting. And those of you, Robin being one of them, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And bless her heart, she did that on a single needle machine. Honey, child, I'm doing it on a multi needle machine, and it's still about to drive me to drink. So anyway, moving right along, let's talk about. Let's get this slide presentation. Restream is new. Bear with me. I think I got it. I practiced it, so hopefully I'll be able to get this up without any difficulty and go from there. Let's see how this is going to go. And it should pop up in a minute. There. Now I'm going to go ahead and put me little. Ta-da! It worked. It worked. I did play with it a little bit before I came on because I wanted to make sure I could do it. So, holiday stitch fitch, fix, thankful stitches. And so that's what we're talking about tonight. Okay, that's not what I want to do. Here we go. Well, let me do the computer. Next, there we go. Went too fast. Sorry, there we go. Hostess towels. And I hope everybody can see this and it's big enough. I don't know if you'll be able to read it if you're on a big screen or something. If you're on your phone, probably not. But if you're on your computer or TV, I'm hoping you'll be able to see it. But I'll go ahead and read through most of this. So first thing we want to talk about, like I said, I'm thinking about gifts that are quick and easy. And I know that most of you have done this. I would assume most people have stitched on tiles. If you haven't, it's a very simple process. Um, Use a pre-decorated tile or one that has a border that is pre-done, or you can just use a plain tile. It just depends upon you, what you want. You can use waffle, you can use the regular fuzzy tile, or you can use a plain, what they call the flour sack tile. Any of those work, and it's an excellent gift to take with you if you're going to someone for Thanksgiving dinner and you want to present a hostess gift. You stitch this out really cute, and tie it up in a little ribbon or something, or put it in a cute little bag and present it as a gift. And be sure you add your own design or phrase on it and use fall colors, which I'll talk about in a minute. And it says gratitude through needlework. Thankful stitches use inspirational phrases to creatively express gratitude during the holiday season. It's a simple hostess tile project. Your tile project expresses things we are thankful for, blending art and reflection. A simple phrase or design can express what is felt inside. Now, how do you make this? Like I said, use a pre-hemmed tile or linen kitchen guest towel. This is the easiest way to do. You can make your own towels, but I'm trying to come up with stuff that you can do in 15, 20 minutes. So they're simple. You can get them out the dollar store. You can get blank towels in Walmart, the dollar store, practically anywhere, and they're relatively inexpensive if you get the blank one. Um, Hoop with tearaway stabilizer, medium weight. Choose a simple autumn motif or word such as gather, thankful, blessing, autumn, anything like that. And then use warm tones in your thread choice. Stitch it and then press and fold for gifting. The stabilizer and needle recommended again is medium tearaway, 7511 needle, and estimated time to do this is 15 to 20 minutes. So it is very quick and simple to do. It could be a last minute gift if you want to. You know, you get a last minute invite and you want to take some, just grab one of the towels you already may have supply and go ahead and do it. Um, and there you go. So the next one is very similar. It's a bathroom towel. Now, bathroom towel, I was trying to get the number. It's the same concept, and it can be added to a bath towel and presented as a bedroom welcoming gift for out of town guests. Now, I have to tell you, I got this idea from an experience I had. I went to visit my son and his new wife last year before last, and it was my first time visiting them since he had gotten married. And I thought she's such a sweetheart, my daughter-in-law. She had asked me a couple of questions about what kind of snacks you like, what do you like to eat, so forth and so on, which was pretty, normal to ask. You know, you're visiting, people want to make sure they stock up and you have the things that you enjoy already in the kitchen. So whoever comes, they can come in and drink whatever coffee or eat whatever snack or what have you. So when I got there and went into the guest bedroom, there was a beautifully uh, basket on the bed that had a cute little throw. It had a coffee cup that had the sweetest saying on it. Um, it had some of my snacks that I had told her that I like to eat, and I think it had a towel or something, but it was just the gesture that made me feel so welcome, even though I'm going to my son's home, and I think it was my first time going to his home because he had just bought a house. But it just made me feel so welcome to be greeted with this basket of sunshine on my bed. So this is something that you could do as well if you're having out of town guests coming, even though it could be your own kids coming home, or it could be relatives coming home. It could be somebody that comes every year, what have you. Just thinking about them and laying out a cute bath towel set or whatever. You know, if you're like me, I make sure that I have nice, new, pristine towels for my guests that are coming. So they'll be very comfortable and everything. Just add a little motif to it or something and make it special. So the embroidery technique, use decorative stitches to create festive detail patterns conveying seasonal cheer and gratitude. Appliques adds fabric shapes, sewn onto a base fabric to produce unique gratitude themed holiday design. Now, I've not done an applique on a towel yet. I've done tons of appliques on clothing and other decor. I haven't done it on a towel. Not that I can't or won't, I just haven't done it. But I have purchased towels that had applique work on it. So don't forget about applique. If you use a towel like the one that is in this picture depicted, you have two choices of how you want to stitch it. And it says, how do you make it? Choose a high quality white or oatmeal cotton hand towel. That's preferably. Use a cutaway stabilizer underneath for stability on this terry cloth if you're using something like that. And use a simple large motif placed near the bottom edge. And I think they kind of recommend that you have the design maybe 2 inches above that border that you see down there. Not so much in the center, because if you're going to fold it over, you want it to be where you can see the design. So you don't want it centered in the middle of the towel. You want it closer to the bottom. And then you use the stabilizer needle. You can use a 7511 sharp or 8012. Also, it mentions use a topper or washable stabilizer, water soluble stabilizer. As a topper if it has a pile or a nap. You want to put a topper on it so your thread doesn't sink in. The other option you have, if your machine has the capability, if you have in Brilliance, I believe it's Enthusiast, the second module, you can do knockdown stitches that knocks down the nap with thread, and then you sew the design on top of the knockdown area, which eliminates the need to use water soluble stabilizer, and it stabilizes your design very, very well. So those are the two options. A lot of people prefer to use the knockdown stitch versus the water soluble stabilizer, because you do have to pick the water soluble stabilizer off or either wash it off, or however you choose to do it. Um, and it's not always easy to get every little intricate piece off of it. You know, there's several different suggestions that they offer you to get it off. Now, for me, I've done both. I have used water soluble stabilizer, and I've also used the knockdown stitches. Now, if you're used to doing embossed, or if you want to do the embossed designs that Embroidery Library sells a ton of them, then you have to use the water soluble stabilizer. And those come out so beautiful. They're so pretty. But anyway, that's what's available. That's another suggestion for your, and it takes about 20 minutes or slightly under, depending upon how simple your design is going to be. So the next one that I thought about are coasters and placemat. Now, you can take up a lot of time with these, or you can take up a little time. It just depends upon how intricate you want your design to be, how much work you want to put into it. I've done both placemats, I've done coasters. The placemats I've done, I have to be honest about it, have been pretty intricate, so they take up a lot of time, and I've done appliques and what have you. So it's far longer than a 20-minute situation. But if you're thinking about doing a placemat, just like I said, coasters and placemats, a placemat can just be a larger coaster, to be honest about it. And they are quick and simple. You're sharing with loved ones. Thankful stitches projects are shared with family and friends to express gratitude and strengthen bonds. These make really cute hostess gifts as well. Home display of projects. I I use coasters in my house. So you come to my house, you're going to see coasters on all my tables. That's how I was raised. That's how I raised my kids, and that's what I continue to do. Even in my bedroom, my dresser, my nightstand, anything that I'm going to put a glass of liquid on it, it's going to sit on top of a coaster. That's just how I am. So I love getting coasters. I love making coasters. And I, like I said, I use them all the time. So I would assume a lot of other people do. And it's really nice to be able, when you're doing decor changes throughout the season, to be able to put out some seasonal coasters. As you see, this picture here is really cute. And I just want to give for full disclosure, I want to let you guys know that I did get these pictures off the internet. Some of them came from Sweet Pea, some of them from Design by Juju, some of them from Etsy, various different places. These are not my designs. These are not my projects that I have actually done, even though I have done many of those. So just wanted to put that out there so there will be no issues and no misunderstandings about them. But, we all have done pretty much something similar to this as far as coasters or what have you. And I really like these that look like leaves and pumpkins and acorns or what have you. Uh, the home display of projects, you complete the projects and display them in their home. They have lasting reminders of thankfulness and positivity when you give them as a gift. And you can also do it as a group activity online, which is something that my sewing group we do sometimes. How do you make these? Use in the hoop design. That's the quickest and easiest way of doing it. These particular ones would be something that you would do with a 4x4 or a 5x5 hoop. For me, it would definitely be the 5x5 mighty hoop. Use a tearaway stabilizer and fabric and batting. If you desire, batting is preferable because it's going to give you some dimension. It's going to be really cute. Stitch out the design, use a satin border, trim, and finish the backing. Really, really cute to do. Tearaway stabilizer, 7511 needle, and the estimated time to do one coaster would be 10 to 15 minutes. If you have a large hoop, and you have your editing software, whether it's in Brilliant or else, you probably could do multiple designs in one hooping, and therefore you could probably at least make 2 to 3 coasters at a time, which would save a lot of time. I do that a lot when I'm doing patches, and same, pretty much the same size. So that's why I recommend that. Napkins. Who does not like napkins? Now, napkins, we're thankful for this meal. I do napkins and I use real napkins when I set my table for any type of formal dinner. If I'm having Thanksgiving dinner, Easter dinner, birthday dinner, whatever it is that I'm doing, where it is some form of formality, where I'm setting the table with uh, my better dishes, I guess is the best way. I don't necessarily use my china anymore, but I do have sets of plates, matching plates and cups and all that kind of stuff. And so when I set the table, I do have maybe a tablecloth, definitely placemats, coasters. If I don't have placemat, I have coasters because again, I have to have something on my table because my tables are wooden, and don't put that glass on my table. And then I have my napkins. So I will decorate napkins. I have several different colors of napkins. I have napkins for Easter. I have napkins for birthdays. I have napkins for Valentine's. I have napkins for Thanksgiving. So yes, that is something, and I made my own. So just think about what a host would really appreciate if you made a set of napkins and took them in. These are quick and simple. Light tearaway, 7511 needle, takes about 15 minutes. Use some plain linen or cotton napkins, hoop it, stabilize it. And now this one that you see a picture of is not apps actually on the end of your uh, napkin. I prefer going closer to the end of the napkin when I'm doing my design or what have you. But that's a good placement as well. You just want to make sure when you fold the napkin or however you fold your napkins, because I don't always put my napkins on my table folded like that. I usually use it where you can put it in a napkin holder. So I want the end part of it to show whatever design that I have, and I just kind of fan it out. So that's why I always kind of go towards the end corner and put my design. But it's up to you. Embroidered napkins bring a personal touch to every Thanksgiving meal. As you stitch, weave in blessings and joy so each guest feels welcomed and appreciated, and every meal becomes a celebration of connection. Now, if your family and friends and guests that come to your home for dinner are like mine, even though you've spent all this time and energy and everything to put these napkins out there and make your table look beautiful, they don't use them. They don't want to get the food, the grease, the lipstick, and all that kind of stuff on your beautiful napkin, is what they tell me. So they're always looking for paper napkins, paper towels. So make sure you always have your paper product available so they can use that instead. I personally don't care because, I've yet to get a napkin that I haven't been able to clean, but I'm sure that could happen at some point. But just wanted to bring that up. Um, pillows. Cozy up with gratitude. Now I mentioned pillows, and I'm specifically talking about the pillowcase. Now, if you're like me, when I'm in the decorating mood in my home, I switch up my throw pillows to match the season. I'll put out spring pillows. I'll definitely put out Christmas pillows. And almost every year I make Christmas pillows. And when I say make it, I'm doing the case because I don't necessarily make the insert. I always buy them, even though you can make them. They're quick and simple to do. But and the pillowcases can be intricate or they can be simple. They don't have to take up a lot of time. You could just put one word on that. You can do it via applique, or you can do it embroidery. You can do it, even those of you that sublimate or do vinyl, you can do it that way. But we're talking more about embroidery. They have really simple designs that don't take very long to stitch. You can make your own pillows, but that takes more time. But if you just buy nice, plain um, pillowcases, be it, a 16 by 16, 18 by 80, 18, or 20 by 20, depending upon what size you normally use on your sofa or what have you, and stitch whatever it is that you want on it. And just put your current pillow that you have inside the new case and present it on your couch or what have you. You don't have to go buy whole new inserts and pillows or whatever. You just use what you already have. You're just switching out the covers, and it makes it quick and simple and makes it easy for you to, spruce up your house, decorate, and set the tone, set the mood for whatever holiday there is. So, how to make it: use a standard 16 by 16 pillow cover, blank. You can get them in a lot of places. Hoop your stabilizer and fabric, or you can hoop the corner, however you're going to do it. Stitch a simple motif or phrase in the center or over the lower corner, depending upon how you want it to do, and then insert it in the pillow form and then fluff it, and there you have it. 7511 needles, sharp, and it can take approximately 20 minutes with the hooping and everything to get it all done. And there you go, quick and simple. And you can make a whole set of them in less than an hour or within an hour's time. No big deal. So that's something quick and simple. And it also still can be a hostess gift if you're interested in it, especially for those that may be traveling for the holiday and you're going out of town and you just want to take something that your relative or friend or whoever you're visiting will have as a keepsake that they can use every year, and just make the four or two or however many you think you'll need, and fold it up real nice and put it in a nice bag or a nice box and everything, and you know present it that way. It will turn out really, really cute. Mug rugs. Now, we talked about mug rugs before, and I know there's a lot of people that do mug rugs. I have done mug rugs, I have a whole bunch of them. I just am not a big mug rug user, but a lot of people do. They like the mug rugs, and I think they're really cute. And I'm going to have to get my project out where I will use trays and putting the little mug rugs in there, and I'm going to go back to that because those make really cute gifts. I got a whole box of trays from the dollar store before it turned into the $1.25 store. I ordered a case, and I think it was like 24 of these little trays in there. Trays, little trays, cute little trays. You could put a small 4x4 mug rug in there, and it fits perfectly. And it's just a cute little presentation. You make this cute little mug rug, put it in the tray. I even painted the tray, and I chose colors that match the colors of the mug rug fabric that I was using, and I put it in there. And like I said, it makes a really cute gift. That's just a thought and an idea. You can also make larger mug rugs. Um, which I like better because I like to be, if I'm going to use it, and I have, but I don't use them often, where I put my cup of coffee or hot chocolate or whatever, and then I have room for a muffin or a cookie or even a sandwich if I wanted to, but usually it's going to be like a muffin or a cookie or some type of pastry or whatever, plus my beverage to drink, which is basically what the mug rug is for. So this is just an example of what you can do, and the colors is what makes them stand out. Now this is from Creative Appliques. I want to give her props. And each Thanksgiving mug rug is a tiny tapestry of gratitude, inviting warmth and comfort to every cup. With every stitch, you celebrate togetherness and the simple joys of sharing a cozy drink, making every moment at the table a little bit more special. And you'd be surprised how many people will use their mug rug every morning and think about the person that presented it to them. How do you make it? Similar to a coaster, but just a little larger. 5x7 hoop, stabilizing fabric. And you can do applique, you can do motif, you can even do, like I said, vinyl, or you can do sublimation. Once you get everything done, and you can add something to the border or stitch the border around or what have you. And it does make ideal teachers and hostess gifts. Medium tearaway, stabilizer, 7511 needle, and the estimated time for one mug rub would be approximately 15 to 20 minutes. So as you can see, everything that we're talking about tonight takes about that length of time, and that's the whole purpose of it. Something that's going to be quick and easy. Now, greeting cards. How many of you have actually done a greeting card? I think we talked about this before. Um, they're easy to do, and they're special, and people will get your greeting card that you embroidered and keep it. Handmade Thanksgiving greeting cards or any holiday or birthday carry heartfelt messages stitched with care. They spread gratitude and kindness during turning simple words into treasured keepsakes that brighten the season for friends and family. And I know for a fact that they will keep your card because it is special. People keep greeting cards anyway. And can you imagine receiving a greeting card from somebody that they actually they stitched it themselves, they created their own saying, everything. Designed by Juju has a font specifically digitized to stitch on cards. It will not puncture the paper and rip it. And that's what you want. You want a font that is digitized specifically for cardstock. And she has the designs and all of that. She's not the only one. Several people have the card design. She has a lot, but she is the only one that I'm aware of that does have the font, the whole entire alphabet. And if I'm not mistaken, it's the alphabet and the numbers, where you can download that, and therefore you can create your own saying that you put in the inside, because you just say what comes from your heart. You don't have to look through Hallmark and see if they're going to come up with something that halfway works, or if it's either too mushy or not mushy enough or what have you. You can say what you feel, and you can present this card to whomever. You can mail it to whomever, what have you. You can bring it with you when you go to wherever you're going over the holiday. How do you make it? Hooper stabilizer plus the fabric. You don't have to use fabric. You can use cardstock. Stitch a small design, trim the design, and adhere to the cardstock. Now they're talking about using double-sided tape or glue and fabric. You can do it that way, or you can just use cardstock, stitch on the cardstock, and then glue it to the cardstock that is being folded. And Danielle, you were saying, oh, you were talking about something else, but anyway, give it a try. I have some cardstock that I purchased. I haven't done anything yet. I use cardstock, and what I was using wasn't working for me with the folding. I folded and it looked cracked and everything, so I decided to try something different, where you get the cardstock that's already folded, then you use another piece of cardstock that you actually embroider on, and you hoop it just like fabric. Um, it's floated, so you don't clamp it down, but it's floated. You might want to use some adhesive spray, or either tape the outer edges with some removable tape, and stitch whatever you're going to stitch on it. And then when you're done with that, you take the stabilizer off of it, and then you're going to glue it to the cardstock that you have that's already folded. And you can do that for the outside, and you can do that for the inside as well. And then you will have your very beautifully decorated, personalized card that you can present to whomever you want to present it to. And the last one that I have on here, and I know you guys can't see this, and I wish you could. Still didn't help. I made it as big as I could. This is the Holiday Stitch Fix Week 1, and it talks about the different projects that I brought up, the hoop sizes, the stabilizer, the needle, and how much time it takes. Also, what is most important is suggested colors: rust, copper, mustard, navy, cream, ecru, are metallics. That's shimmer. And it says, and I'll bring that up because I'm going to talk more about the what we use and colors and all of that. So I just wanted to show that to you. There you go. It worked. I got it on and I got it off without any big to do. So I wanted to make sure that I was able to show you just some of the things that you can make this quick. That was the goal, something that you can make that's quick. I know that most of these things that I talked about, people have already made before, although I was surprised to hear that some people had never done tiles, some people had never done cards, some people haven't done coat posters. So, it's easy to make an assumption that people have done things and they haven't, or that you've even thought about it. But the main thing, there are so many other things that we can do. Uh, I know one thing a couple of things I didn't mention. I didn't mention mini wall hangings. That's something else that you can do quick. If you got a quick, simple design, it may take a little longer depending upon what the design is like. It may take you a good 30-40 minutes maybe to do a wall hanging. The all other thing that I really love doing, that takes a little while longer, but it's simple, and I mentioned it before, is wall hangings using screen fabric or screen material. Needs to be a disc design, but they make absolutely beautiful, beautiful, beautiful wall hangings and gifts. You see the one that's hanging behind me by the quilt? That is a screen, um, wall hanging that I made and put into an embroidery frame. I got the design off of Embroidery Library. And they have many, many, many designs that you can use to make, wall hangers. Now, I would not necessarily use that one for Thanksgiving because of the colors, but you certainly could use, something similar to that and have different coloring in it to make it more fall like. So let me see who's popped in while I was doing my PowerPoint that I may not have spoken to. Hi Leslie, how you doing? Hi Jenny, and Danielle. Who else? I think that's it that has popped in. So the other thing is, um, yeah, I got everything. I got the napkin, the placemat. The only thing I didn't talk about was the mini wall hanging and the screen wall hangers. And like I said, don't leave those out. They make excellent, excellent, gifts to give as a hostess gift or some type of, even to sell. If you're interested in selling any of these things, they're so easy to make that you can make them quickly. And that's the wonderful thing about it. We talked about keychains and key fobs and all of that stuff last week. You can even do that. You can get you, and they have plenty of them for Christmas. I haven't looked, but I'm pretty sure they got quite a few of them for Thanksgiving as well, like turkeys and all of those kind of gobble gobble type stuff that you could use to make keychains and key fobs with, and hand sanitizer, all of that kind of stuff that would work. You can, just think of, even if you don't have a design specifically that you want to purchase, or you just want to do something, you can just think of words. As long as you're using the color theme and words that, depict Thanksgiving, like gratitude, thankful, bountiful, turkey day, joy of family, gather, let's gather together, give thanks. All of those are phrases that you could use as well when you're developing or creating the pillow, or, anything, the birth, the greeting card, the, wall hanging, all of those things. You can just use a simple word or phrase that you, instead of having to, get a whole sign, that makes it even quicker and simpler, and, the ability for you to just produce something really, really quick, because that is the whole, purpose of this. The other thing is color. Color is very, very important. Your saying is important, your motif is important, but your color is important as well. And they kind of have a rule that you want to, stay in the autumn colors, and, just a rule of thumb. If you are have a design that uses a bright red and you want to kind of transform that into a fall look, substitute the bright red for a rust or a copper color. That gives you a more warm fall feeling. Substitute a Kelly green or a bright green for an olive or a moss color. That makes it softer, gives it more contrast. White, a stark bright white is a little bit, like they say, you don't wear white after Labor Day, but you can wear white after Labor Day, and people do that, which is more on a cream or a urca or a light beige color or oyster, any of those kinds of not stark bright white, but it is still in that family. That's going to give it a vintage vibe. And then yellow. Yellow is bright. Yellow summer. But dull it down or dim it down a little bit and go to your more mustard or your gold. Give it a little deeper tone. And then of course blue colors of blue. But if you bring it down to like navy or a darker blue, then you're going to give it more depth and more coziness. So that's one way of being able to take one particular design and then use it for different seasons just by switching out your colors. That's something that works really well. Another quick tip for speed is, and I've been doing this with my project that I got behind me. Like I mentioned, it's 45 hooping. So I went ahead and cut out all 45 pieces of my stabilizer. So every time I'm ready to hoop, my stabilize, well, everything is cut. My stabilizer specifically, I cut that out first. Then I cut out all my batting, and then I cut out all of my material. So when I'm ready to move, I just grab it. It's almost like an assembly line. So they recommend that if you're doing any like multitudes of projects and stuff for the holidays, make sure you keep a basket of pre-cut stabilizers sheets already ready. If you use a particular size, make sure you have those sizes. If you're using like your 5x5 Mighty Hoop or 4x4 in that category, they do have pre-cut stabilizer that I use a lot. The 8x8 inches, you can get the stick thick, 100 or 250, I think is the most I've seen. Already pre-cut, wasn't that expensive. You can even get it in um, mm, the no-show mesh. You can get it in your cutaway, you can get it in your tearaway, and you can get it in no-show mesh. And I think I got all of those off of Amazon. And it's 8x8 already pre-cut, and that is a lifesaver. You just grab it and hoop it and go. And if you use like a larger hoop, measure it out and see what size that you're going to use for that particular hoop, and then cut you out a bunch of it so you already have it out and ready. The other thing is, I suggest you make a master color chart using mostly fall colors. So if you're like me and you have a whole boatload of color threads and you're working on the fall motif, you're going to be using some of those colors that I mentioned more than anything. You're going to use your rust and your copper, your olive and your moss, your cream and your urca, your mustard, your navy, your purples, the things that are more of the fall. You're going to use those colors more than your bright colors, and you're definitely not going to use your pastel colors. You're going to use your light, bright, festive colors for Christmas when that comes around. So pull out all of your fall colors and get them in one place where it's there and convenient for you to just grab when you're ready to do a project, because you probably will be only using those colors for a minute for the rest of the month anyway. Um, Also, it suggests that you float, not hoop, as much as possible, um, which I'm not a big floater. I'm not a big floater. I do float, but it's not something that I do that often. But I have floated. And also, if you have like Durkee fast frames, if you have any of those, where you use sticky stabilizer, then that helps a lot as well. You don't have to use a lot of you don't have to go through the whole hooping process. Now, hooping for me is not a big deal because, like I said, I mostly use mighty hoops, so it's not a big deal to hoop. But if you use the regular plastic hoops, then you got to screw it off, put it on, screw it back, all of that kind of stuff. Push it down, get it to fit, and all of that. The stuff that I hate doing. Then, of course, it probably makes more sense for you to go ahead and get all your stabilizer together and make sure that possibly if you can float and what have you to make it quick and simple. Also, they said do batch stitching, which I had mentioned about the coasters. If you are going to do several coasters or even patches or anything that you know you can fit this design, more than one design in a hoop at a time, if you got a big enough hoop and you're able to place more than one design in there at a time, go ahead and do that and save some time. Stitch out two or three coasters at the same time, the same hooping, so you can just save time. And then, of course, keep it simple. Keep it simple. And then have your packaging, your bags, your boxes, your whatever it is that you're going to use. If you're mailing things out, have those available and ready, and you know where they are. You're gifting people your ribbon, whatever you're using to tie it up and make it look like a gift, a bow, or what have you. Have those things close by and available so you can just kind of flow through your process and do it again, like I said, like an assembly line. So a little efficiency like this means more than the stitching, and there's more time is saved, and there's less chaos because you got everything in place. I tell you, you can see behind me the threads I have sitting on my table. Those are basically the colors that I've been using throughout the project. So I keep them handy. And when I'm in this particular project that I'm doing uses a lot of different colors because it's a whole bunch of little bitty pieces that are applique, and you got to stitch all of that. And even with a multi-needle machine, I'm steady changing color threads because I had one where it was 39 thread changes, and I looked at that and I said, oh my goodness, you kidding me? Turned out not to be as bad as it sound, but yeah. But anyway, me keeping my threads available and out where all I have to do is get it, and I don't have to go pull it out the drawer, take it off the wall or what have you. It's sitting right there, and then I line them up as in the order in which I'm going to use them. And so that works for me, and that has helped me tremendously to move through the project a lot quicker than it would be if I'm constantly looking for something. And I don't know if you could tell, probably not. Um, there's a binder sitting on top of the basket. You barely can see it. It's red, and it's got 95 pages of instructions in there. And it tells me how to do. And when I did the project the first time, I made sure that I had everything put into that binder. And now that I'm doing my second one, it is going so much quicker and so much easier. Everything that I need is right there. I don't really have to look. And I didn't know it at the time, but I even saved the sheets that I had created with the colors and all of those things in there. And I left them on the pages for each particular individual panel that I had to do. And when I saw that, I said, "Oh my goodness, I'm so glad I did." Even though I'm not using the exact same colors because I'm putting different color fabrics here, there, and everywhere. And my skirt was white. This skirt is red, So, some things are changing up and stuff. It just made things so much easier for me. So, uh, let me see what's going on in the chat. I hear people keep. I hear. I see this $1.50. What's the $1.50 store? Daniel, you say you went to the Dollar Tree yesterday, and now it's turning into the $1.50 store. It went from $1 to $1.25. Now it's $1.50. I did not know that. I didn't know that. Uh-huh. And so, Marco, you're saying some of the dollars in Washington State is $1.50. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. And Jenny says that the Dollar Tree in Texas has gone to $1.50 too. So it's no longer the dollar store. They need to take that sign down. They should have taken it down when it went to $1.25. Now it's $1.50. Mm. Well, what can I say? I did not know that, but that's news to me. Thanks for sharing. It has gone up. Everything is going up, y'all. Everything is going up. I cannot believe it. Cannot believe it. But it is. And nothing, what can I say? Um, Speaking a little bit more on colors, and I know you guys probably know this, but neutral colors are considered cream, taupe, chocolate, brown, white, anything in the white family. They're neutrals. That means they go with any and everything. You can put almost any color with a neutral color. Black. Warm shades, rust, mustard, copper, those are considered warm shades. There's several more. And then, of course, your greens, you got your olives, your pine, your sage, your moss. There's so many different color greens, just as long as it's not your bright green, even like an evergreen and mint green and those kind of bright greens. Those are not appropriate for fall. Or, well, let me put it this way, they're not considered fall colors. Whatever you use is appropriate for you, but they're not necessarily considered fall colors. And then you have your accent colors, which are burgundies and navies and burnt oranges and different different tones of red that's not bright. Because if you look at your threads, if you're like me, I have several different tones of red, which I'm glad I did because, again, on my project I'm working behind me, my base color is red. I have used red fabric and I've also used red thread with some of my designs, but I'm able to do that because I'm using different tones of red, different tones of red thread. So it will show up on the red base. And so you can do that, which burgundy is that different colors and stuff. Your dark reds, your they got different names, but I don't know what the names are. I just know them when I see them. But it's good to have a variety of different tones of the same base color, several greens, several reds, several oranges, even your yellows and your pinks and your fuchsias. There's so many different levels that you can have that you can use when you're doing your different projects and stuff. So hopefully that has given you some ideas of what you can do for the upcoming holiday. uh, Whether you're doing, like I said, whether you're doing something as a gift, something for your home decor or someone else's decor, or you're doing it to sell. These little things are quick and easy to make and to do and to get them outdoor. And in less than 30 minutes, let's put it that way, less than 30 minutes, you can have all these things done. I remember that there's been a couple of to a party or some type of function and realized that they hadn't gotten a gift or anything, and they were able to go into their um, into their studio and grab some scrap paper, fabric that they already had, and their stabilizers and stuff, and whipped something up in 15 minutes and was able to take it with them, a mug rug or something on that line, and it was quick and easy to do, and appropriate. So it's always good to know that you have those options. Now we can definitely get into things that are going to take much more intricate, and I have to tell you, I was looking at some comments on Facebook at various groups. And it was one comment where this person was saying that they've had their machine for 2 or 3 years, I believe. And I believe it's a multi-needle machine. And they were making a project. They had an order of 3 or 4 different items. And they were talking about how long it took them to make the item. And they were just kind of wondering why it takes them so long versus how other people are running through making things so quickly. And, sometimes I wonder that myself because I know, as they say, you can do this in 10 minutes, you can do it in 15 minutes, you can do it in minutes. And I find myself that, that's not necessarily always the case. And, a lot of it has to do with your ability to select your fabric, select your thread, find your um, materials that you're going to use, including your batting, including your stabilizer, all of that, and then threading your machine. I mean, it's so many things that go into it where that 10 and 15 minutes is gone. And then the speed of your machine. So how fast are what are the stitching the stitch count? Are you doing 500 stitches per minute, or are you doing 1,000 stitches per minute? Now I noticed with this project I'm working on, because I know I need to get done with it, I had bumped mine up to 700 stitches per minute, which is not, it can do 1,000. I've never done 1,000. The highest I think I've done myself has been 800, but I've been doing it at 700. And I have to be honest about it. It started moving to me kind of slow. Like, this ain't really fast. So I guess if you get used to going a certain speed, then you get used to that. And I may be bumping mine up a little bit just to see. Because even when I was doing, which surprised me, my first row, I used some metallic thread. And I always put my metallic thread on the end, and I also always put it down as low of the stitch speed as possible, which for my machine is 400. And believe it or not, I forgot a few times to lower it, and I know it's a way to program it where it will lower itself, but I don't think I remember how to do that. You can assign the speed to a particular needle, and I got to do that. But anyway, I forgot to lower it, and I noticed it was stitching, and it wasn't having any issues. And I was like, okay, that works. I was really surprised. I was happy, but I was really, really surprised that I was able to use my King Star metallic thread, which I swear by it. It works so well. You don't get a lot of thread breakage. Now, there's a caveat to that, and it may have something to do with the age of the thread or that particular batch of threads, but I noticed that I have a copper thread, believe it's my copper thread, that gives me trouble. It will break on me. My silver thread, my gold thread, and my green and red thread. I haven't used the other three colors. I have my blue, my pink, and my mint. I have those because I have two, four, six, eight colors of King Star metallic thread. But my gold and my silver are my go-to. And I rarely have any thread break with those. I put them on the end and I always put it down to 400, and I always try to make sure I have a metallic needle, and it sells, sells. But this particular time, I have to tell you, I didn't put a metallic needle in because I forgot. And when it started stitching and didn't have any issue, I said, I'm not going to change it. Why? It's working. And then, like I said, there were a few times where I forgot to lower it down to the 400, and it was stitching fine. And I was like, okay, well, that worked. No big deal. So, but anyway, the speed of your stitching has a lot to do with how quickly you're going to be able to do something. So, if you're mass producing something and you have confidence in your machine and you know that your tension on your bobbin as well as the top, and you have the right needle in, is hooped correctly, and you have it stabilized. Like I have this arm that I love, that I put my hoop on top of that, and it keeps it from bouncing, and that's a mighty hoop. And I love it because I don't like that vibration. Brother has this, and then Mighty Hoop has it, and it comes out. Yeah, I have to unscrew it to bring it out. But anyway, it's called a tubular table hoop, I believe is what it's called, and tubular hoop support, tubular hoop support, and it is this one is 150, 175, something like that, maybe 125. I don't know. It was 100 plus. Put that way. I know it was 100 plus, and I use this with all my hooping unless it won't fit on. Now with tote bags and stuff like that, it will not. I cannot use this when I'm hooping bags and things because it won't go back far enough. But everything else, I use this, and it keeps the. It's like a table. The hoop will rest on top of it, and you don't get all that bouncing and everything. So that gives you an opportunity to speed it up, and that's what I like about it. And that way you don't have to use your big table unless you're doing jackets or blankets or things like that. Because that's what I use my big table for. And I love my big table. I know some people don't want it. It says it's in the way. They don't need it. They're selling them and all of that. But to me, that's crazy. Unless you're not going to ever do anything that requires you to have a bigger feel. I do my big table, and I do use mine because, as you all know, I do jacket backs and I do blankets, and I need my big table. But that stability allows you to go faster. And I don't know if I'll ever have enough confidence to do 1,000 stitches per minute like the machine allows you to do. I know there are people that do that and they think nothing of it. But for me, 800 is pretty much my max. I think I've done 900 maybe once. I know when Justin came and worked on my machine, he did bump it up to 1,000. He's just tested it and everything, and I was like, "Ooh, that's the first time my machine been up to 1,000." And it worked, it worked. He was comfortable with it. But for me, on a daily, regular basis, I've never done that. I might get up enough galls to try it and see if I like it, because I have to tell you, running it at that 700 stitches per minute, uh, working on this project has proven to me that that's not really too fast because it's on 700, and I'm like, can this go a little faster? So I might be bumping it up at least to 800. Might I might test out 9 just to see how it goes. I'll let you guys know and see if I'm comfortable with that. But like I said, the main reason I don't do it is two. One, I don't like that vibration and that bouncing around. I don't like that because you do have to be careful. I don't know if you guys really know this. For those of you that have these multi-needle machines, your arm can, the screw on it can come untightened. If your screw comes untightened, your machine is going to give you an error message and tell you your hoop is too small. I learned that the hard way. And when I get that saying out, the first time that ever happened to me, I screwed up a beautiful jacket because I did not know what to do, and I was totally surprised and shocked because I had been stitching, almost done with the jacket, and then it came up and said my hoop was too small, and I was like, how the devil is too small? I've been using it all this time, and I didn't know, and I took it off and unhooped it in the whole 9 yards, and of course you can't get it back. Learn the hard way. If it if you've been hoop stitching and then all of a sudden you get this error message saying your hoop is too small, that means that your arm is loosened and you just need to tighten it. That's all that means. You just need to tighten it up because the sensor can't sense it. Therefore, they think you don't have the right hoop on there. So if you tighten it up, it can sense it, then it will go back to running without any issue. And so that's another reason why I am leery about all that bouncing around. So Danielle, that you are brave enough to put yours on 1,000. Go, girl. I've never done that. Uh, I drive that fast sometimes, 1,000 stitches. I got to try that. If you doing it, I know I got to try. Now you doing it with your, well, okay. You don't have a multi-needle machine. Are you doing it with your, what is that machine called? The Performer, the big machine? Is that the one that you're doing it with? And Joyce, let me say hi to you. I saw you pop in, but I know I didn't say anything. Um, so you were saying to Joyce, I know the Christmas items were definitely more. I think the old steady products are still $1.25. Stuff we do not want. Oh, okay. So they got the Christmas stuff up. I wonder what the Christmas bags and stuff are going to be, because that's what I normally buy out of there during the holiday. Is just the gift bags. That's my go-to for my Christmas presents. The dollar store, because it doesn't make sense to spend $2 and $3 and $4 and $5 and $6 per bag for a gift. And I don't particularly care to wrap a bunch of gifts. That's a lot of work and time. Don't have little kids where they get all excited unwrapping gifts. So I rather just uh, drop a gift in a bag and hand it to them and be done with it. And if that's the case, I like to get them out of the dollar store because they really have some cute bags. To be honest about it, they're actually worth the money. So I don't mind spending. Well, it was $1, then it went up to $1.25, and now I guess it's going to be $1.50. But still, it's not too bad. It don't get up too much higher. They're going to be almost as much as it costs in Walmart. But anyway, Leslie, you said you guys are having a big interest in this the $1.50 store. The plastic items are $1.50, as are the paper products like tissue. I got spray starch for $1.50. Some things are still $1.25, but are getting harder to find. You guys been knowing about this $1.50 thing for a minute. I haven't been into the dollar store in a while. So uh, actually, I've only been in the dollar store once since I moved here. And that's not to snub the dollar store. It's just that I haven't found that I needed to buy anything out of the dollar store because it's $1. So that's the general. What is it? Dollar General store that's down the street from me. I went into there once, and then I did go into the Dollar Tree once. So yeah, I've been in both of those once since I've been here, but only because there was nothing in there that I buy. And even when I went in there, unfortunate I didn't see what I was looking for. So that's it. But at so I don't guess I knew. Did I know? Maybe I did buy some. I didn't know that they had gone up. When did they go up? Okay. Danielle said you drive your Stella Air that fast. All of my persona doesn't stitch that fast. Okay. So your Lumen, your Stella Air. Well, you know what? I'll give you that on your Stella Air because um, I don't remember how fast I uh, drove my SE 1900. I know I didn't do 1,000 on her. I know that, but I may have done. Nah, I don't think I did, cause I think it was so new to me. Cause in all honesty, I have not used my SE 1900 embroidering for maybe 2 years now, which is not a good thing to say. I've used it for sewing, but I haven't used it for embroidery for in about 2 years, and that's mainly because of space and I just enjoy using my multi needle, and I haven't run across any need to not use my multi needle for anything um, so far. So it just kind of you gravitate towards the thing that's the most convenient. That's pretty much it. But I was using it all the time before I got my jazz for my sewing. And that was the other reason why I didn't use it, because I didn't want to have to keep switching it back and forth, because I was using it for my sewing, and I didn't want to have to, every time I wanted to do the embroidery, I had to put the thing back together, which reminds me of my friend saying that she didn't want a combo machine when she got her Stellaire and now her Luminaire. She said she didn't want a combo, which makes perfect sense. And I know if I ever get a Luminaire, I'm not sure if I'm gonna get the combo or not. Probably will though. Probably will. But I understand the why not, because it is switching back and forth, and you got to take the foot off, put the foot back, put the thing on, take the thing, all of that stuff, which can be a bit much. And Leslie, you said some things are $5 or $3 too. Ooh, girl. Now I knew that was in the general dollar store. I didn't know that was in Dollar Tree. I didn't know that. And so you said SE 1900 only goes up to 650. So that's probably why I didn't do 1,000, because I'm pretty sure I've only done the 650. Because I was just thinking, I was like, I don't think I did 1,000 on that one. Okay, that makes sense. Danielle, I'm gonna have to catch up with you. I'm gonna have to do 1,000. I might even try that tomorrow night. I don't know. You might need to come stop by and see if I do that. And Leslie, you're saying you have King Star on your 10th needle and use the regular needle on it. Okay. I did use the regular needle on mine is on my well, my 10th one isn't working yet still. I haven't got it fixed, but on my number 9 needle, I have my I had my King Star on there, and I forgot to change my needle. So I was using my regular 7511, and it stitched perfectly fine. I absolutely no issue with it. That's why I love King Star so much. I have several. I have Floriani um, metallic thread. I have Madeira metallic thread. Those two spools look like they've never been used. One of them probably hasn't. And I have tons. I know I have probably 10 little bitty cones of metallic thread that I got from Amazon back in the day when I first started, didn't know any better. And I have used some of it, but trust and believe me, you talking about breaking, 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 breaking. The one thing that I did was able to do that helped a little bit was to use the tall threader on my SE 1900. Use the tall thread and go all the way up and down and around when I threaded it, and then of course sew as slowly as it would go, which I think is 400 or maybe 350. I don't remember, but as slow as it would go, and it helped a little bit, but it still did a lot of breaking. And so that's one reason why I have so much of the Amazon. I don't even know what brand. I think it's Sim Thread. And Sim Thread has my SE 1900 has never liked Sim Thread. I bought a case of threads. I think it was 60 or 80 of them in there. Cute little bitty spoon. Beautiful colors. Absolute gorgeous colors. Didn't cost a whole lot of money. Still have them. My machine was not having it. Sister girl, her inspiration. Inspiration wasn't having it. She did not like Sim thread at all. It would break, 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 break to the point where I just stopped using it at all. And I had to use more expensive thread. And I also had to use brother bobbins. It got to the point where I couldn't use any other pre-wound bobbin other than brother. That's so I bought brother black and white, and they were not cheap. And that's what I used on my SE 1900. So it's a finicky machine. It worked well, did very well, and it does very well. But I mean, it wants what it wants, and it would not cooperate with me. Now my 10 needle, it's a powerhouse. I put some sim thread on there. I don't. I think I put some of the cheap um, metallic on there once, and I know I used some of the sim thread once or twice, and I had no issues with it. It worked perfectly fine. And Leslie, you said that you ordered some more Kingstar metallic thread. Where did you get it on sale? Because we talked about it last week, and I didn't see it on sale. So where did you get it on sale? Because I was gonna get, but I didn't see it on sale there. And you have Amazon metallic thread too on the Vice Other Sewing. Yes, Sim thread. Yeah, I don't know how it worked for you, but it didn't work for me. I have it. I don't use it. It's pretty. It has a beautiful sheen to it, but you can definitely tell that it has metal in it because it's not as pliable as the King Star, and it kinks. So that's the issue. Danielle, you said you use Sim thread on your machine. It works over here, but I don't have any metallic thread. Yeah. Well, yeah. Sim thread people use. I mean, obviously they're selling it, but my SE 1900 didn't want to have anything to do. Now she may act a little better now that she's been put in timeout. She might act like, okay, mommy, if you get me out the corner, I'll go ahead and behave. Maybe she'll act right. I don't know. And you said Leslie, you said Sim thread works better on your um, single needle machine, but it's picky sometimes with even with the Madeira. Okay, yeah. I know my Madeira um, metallic thread, which surprised me because I believe that was the first thread that I bought after I bought the Amazon metallic thread, thinking, okay, Madeira, good thread, high quality. Got two big spools of Madeira metallic thread, gold and silver, and I'm looking at them, and they look like they haven't been touched, looking like they have not been touched. And it's like they just would break. They would break. Yeah. Yeah, Jenny is asking you, Leslie, where did you buy the Kingstar metallic thread? I'd like to know because I like to know if what is on who's got a sale on it. because I know I didn't see a sale. Last time I looked, the couple of places, Dime being one, all brand, I believe, all brand, I don't know it wasn't. It was sewing machine online, sewing machine plus. It was one of those. Um, because I have to remember where I buy my Floriani thread from one of those places. And but anyway, I checked for King was 17.99 at both places that I checked. So I didn't see anything less than that. And the last time I bought my King Star, I think it was running. The max was $14. I've gotten as cheap as 12 or $13. So uh, anywhere from $13 to $15 is all I've ever paid. So the $18 is $3 more than what I normally pay. But I mean, everything else is going up. So what can I say? Oh, Leslie, you said on the OESD site until tomorrow, their Black Friday sale. There's a code. Okay. All righty, Danielle. Good night. You're going to bed. I'll see you tomorrow. You take care. We're gonna have a race on that 1,000 stitches per minute. But you're on your single needle machine, so that ain't fair. But it is what it is. Let me see. OESD has a sale until tomorrow. And you said there's a coupon. King Star thread. See how much it is. Huh. Come on, I'm getting everything but King Star. There it is. King Star metallic thread. 17.99. I guess you get a coupon and it goes down. But they're selling it for 17.99. That obviously is the going price. So where is the coupon that you save 20% site wide with code through the 12th? So if you use their code PBF shop, P is in Paul, B is in brother, F is in fish shop through tomorrow at midnight, well 11:59, then you can get 20% off, which is pretty cool. That'll get it down. Uh, Let me see. Free with any $60 per. What do you get? Something's free. I don't know what it is, but it's good to know that you have until tomorrow night to get the King Star thread at 17.99 per spool, which is the going rate everywhere I've gone to look. But if you use their code, then you save 20% on that. So that's going to get it down to roughly $15, which is what I'm used to paying for it. So that's not a bad deal. Now I don't know how much. I don't know what the $60 and you get something free. I don't know what that's all about. Oh, you get this holiday celebration candy Christmas applique free if you spend $50. Oh, the design's cute. but nothing I need. Mhm. So anybody that's interested in getting any King Star thread, if you need it and you want to save a few dollars and you're ready to purchase it, OESD has it. Again, like I said, it is $17.99 with a $20 20% discount if you use their code. And I think it's PB something shop, but it's right there on their page when you go on there, so you'll see it, whatever it is. Hmm. Thanks, Leslie, for telling us, because I know we talked about this last week about the King Star, because I was getting ready to buy some gold because I know my gold was low. But then I realized I had enough silver, so I decided to use the silver versus the gold. But I still need to replenish my gold. And I'm wondering if I replace my copper with that. Well, I'm not going to do that. Cost too much money. Anyway, and Leslie, you said the code lowered the price. They even have the big cone size too, king size. Yeah, the cone size at designed by not designed by Judy. Embroidery Design was selling the large size King Star for $35. So I would assume they're going to knock $20 off of that, which would not be a bad deal if you're wanting to spend, 35 bucks minus 20%, which would be a $7. So what would that be? Um, 27 bucks, something like that. Don't trust my math. But it would be 20 some odd dollars for the comb versus 35. So that would, if you use a lot of metallic thread, and this is the holiday season, and it depends upon how much you're going to do, that may or may not be a good idea. I I use a lot of gold and I use a lot of silver. I'll put it that way. Those are the main go-to metallic threads that I've used. I probably should use up some of my red and my green in this project, so I might be using some more of those colors for the other panels, because that's where the gifts are, those snowmen and the gifts and stuff. So I might use some of that. And Leslie, you said you purchased 3 or 4 gold colors to see the difference. Yeah. Yeah, I know it's 3 different colors. They're very, very close in shade. So I don't even think it matters that much which color you get, to be honest about it, because when I looked at it just picture wise, they didn't seem to be that much different in color. But of course, there's shading. If you're doing something that requires some shading, then that would be really cute to use those different colors and stuff. So I'll figure it out tomorrow what I'm gonna get. But knowing me, I'll probably just get gold and silver, like what I normally do, because that's what I use. I use gold and use silver. I don't use too much of anything else. And I have other colors that I'm not using, so there's no need of me buying a bunch of more uh, metallic, because I don't use metallic all the time. I probably use it more than what I do. Something else that is good to use, especially this time of the year when you're doing a lot of different stitching and stuff, variegated thread. If you haven't bought any variegated thread, check it out. Most of these thread companies have some form of variegated thread. Floriani has a lot, Sulky has a lot. Um, there's a lot of variegated thread on Amazon. I bought a bunch of those too, and they work. They're not bad. I've used my variegated thread that I got off of Amazon. I use the sulky thread that I've gotten out of Joanne, and I've used my variegated thread that I got from Floriani. So I do like it. And Jenny, you were saying you need to order Exquisite. I have not tried their thread um, to continue your collection. Yeah, I hear that Exquisite thread, which is a dime product, is a good thread. And the prices are comparable. So yeah, I'm not used candle yet. I haven't even tried candle. Um, I'm not really big on switching up thread brands, but I am interested in using some matte threads. So I think I'm going to try the thread that All Things Sean, that Sean from All Things Sean is using for some of her projects, just to see how that goes with the matte thread. And give that a try. Uh, do, 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 do. Yeah, I think any of those threads will work in your multi-needle machine, Leslie. I'm pretty sure of that. And I don't even know. I have to look and see what color my gold is, and I may get a different color just for the heck of it, just to see if it's going to look that much different. But I don't. I well, it just depends. It depends upon what the shipping and all that kind of stuff is, because I'm paying a bunch of money for shipping when you buy one or two products and you're paying $20 for shipping. I hate that. I'd rather spend the extra money and get something I need and can use and end up with free shipping. Uh, and I know they do that on purpose to make you spend more money, but if I'm going to get something for it, I'd rather that versus paying the post office. So that's just how I am. And Robin, you say you love variegated thread and you love using it in quilts. It turns your project out so pretty. Variegated thread, if you've not tried variegated thread, please, people, get you some, try it. I guarantee you're going to like the end result, because it just gives the look a total different look, and many different varieties of them, different blends of colors. I know Dime has sets that they sell where they have the variegated and the regular thread where you could kind of match them up. They have the matching sets if you're interested in that, depending upon what your project may be. But I do know that they have those as well. Hmm. Free, 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 Fresley. You received a free candle thread card that came with green, blue, and yellow. Gold in the box for free. They are working great in my multimedia machine. How you get the free thread? You know me. Free, 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 free. If y'all can get something free, let us in on it. We want and need free. So let us in on whatever it is that you guys are getting free. Places that have free design. Stitch has a free design that she puts out at least once a month or once a week. I don't know. I don't get them always. I do get some of them. My main thing is I totally forget to download them. But she puts something out free almost, I'm thinking it's every week. Because every time I turn around, there's a some type of free design. And again, like I said, I don't get them all the time, but a lot of people collect their designs by getting the free ones. So don't pass up on free, especially if there's something that you like or if you're trying to build your library. I'm not trying to build my library because I have tons of designs. that I probably will never use. But at this at some point in life, I will get all of my designs organized and maybe start using some of the ones that I've never used before instead of constantly buying them. And I've gotten a lot better with the buying because um, I'm not impressed anymore. I used to buy something from Embroidery Library almost every month. And I bought anything from them in a minute because I haven't seen anything that I probably don't already have or something that just really pop out and say, "Oh, this is really nice. I really want this." And so so yeah, I've kind of slacked up on the buying. Designed by Juju kind of draws me in here lately because they seem to come up with really cute stuff. And then you get all this extra stuff that I probably never will use because they give you these bonuses and stuff. If you spend now, it used to be $25 now, you get all that stuff. And I get a whole lot of uh, fonts. I get a lot of fonts from them because you can get them cheap. Jenny said you use a lot of thread and a lot of variegated thread. Leslie said she got the thread card and the thread and the big spool. Yeah, but you didn't tell us how you got it. Did they just send it to you out the wild blue sky, which would be cool? If not, what did you do so we can do it too? I want to try candle thread just to see what it's going to be like and expense wise, but I don't think I'm going to switch from my Floriana because I just love Floriana and I have so much of it. And I made up my mind that's what I was going to stick with. And here lately I have. I'm even considering maybe getting rid of some of my other thread. When I sell some of these machines, I probably throw in some of that machine, some of that thread, just to get rid of it because not to, it's good thread and it's pretty thread. I've had it a while and I'm not using it that much. And the reason I'm not using it is because I don't want to start projects and stuff using them, like the stuff I was putting on Etsy and everything, because I knew I wouldn't be able to get that same color back. And I wanted to be dedicated to a thread that I know I can always go and get that color again when I run out. So one of the major reasons I selected um, to stick with Floriani because I love Floriani's thread. And I know that I can, if I run out of a thread color, I can just order that thread color back. So that's it. And Leslie, you said you won variegated. I remember when you got that, the variegated thread at the expo, and you got the candle thread a year or two ago when Jeanette was talking about it. Okay. I remember when Jeanette was talking about it. I think it was last year. I believe it was. I never did reach out to Candle. I looked them up when she was talking about it, but I never did buy from them. And so you said you went to the site and just signed up for something and thread came with it. I think it was for the thread cards when they first showed up and Jeanette talked about getting a card. Maybe I did get a thread card. I don't know. I don't I don't remember, but I'm gonna try it again. Because I didn't get any thread. I want to try it. Just out of curiosity. Because I know and Angela Jasmina, I believe, switched from Madeira to to candle thread, and I think she did it because of the cost. I don't know, but I do remember a while back she switched over. Hi, Sean. How are you, girl? I'm closed down shop. How are you doing? Thank you for stopping by. I got to reach out to you because well, I'm gonna reach out to you and we can chat. I need something from you. I need two things from you. So I'm going to reach out to you, and I think you gave me your number, but I want you to get. I'm gonna give you my email address. Okay, Sean, I just put my email address in there. Reach out to me so I can reach out to you because you got something I want. Okay, good. Yeah, I need you to email it back to me because I know I had it, and girl, don't ask me where it is. I might be able to find it, but yeah, reach out to me, give it to me, and so I can reach out to you because I definitely need something that you have if I remember correctly. And I had said I was gonna reach out to you, and I keep forgetting about it. But glad you stopped on. Angela switched after buying all that Madeira thread and the thread. Yeah, she did. She spent a boatload on the rack and the thread and everything, and then she switched over. But I get it because business and she's using it up so much. She probably used up all that thread she bought with the rack and everything, and then had to, she's constantly replacing it. And when you got a business like that and you're producing stuff as much as she's producing, her overhead has to be killing her, with all of the overhead. You make money, but you spend money when you have a business because you got to keep your inventory up. She was in the warehouse and she had the lease and the utilities and she had taxes and she had thread and stabilizer and all of that kind of stuff. So I can imagine them bills were just piling up, piling up, piling up on it somewhere. So I guess she felt like if she got a better deal with the thread to go for it, especially if the thread is comparable to what she was using. I personally never did get into the Madeira um, uh, thing. When I first started embroidering, of course, Madeira was the first thing that popped up. I got some Madeira thread samples, all of Madeira stabilized. I got a bunch of stuff that came to me from Madeira. But I don't know why. I just never did move towards Madeira. And then when I did order a few things, I really kind of fell out with them because they never would tell you your exact bill. You didn't know exactly how much you owed them until they were billing you, charging your card because they never would tell you what shipping was. You would add everything up, but you never knew what shipping was until you were paying the bill. And I didn't like that at all. Not at all. So that kind of made me not buy from them. Then I found out if you did your order, well, first of all, you had to have um, a business license, and then you had to have um, well, you had to have the business license, but then you didn't know when they were going to, how much they were going to charge you. But I found out if you ordered like on the weekend or like Friday or something like that, then the charge was less or something along that line. I don't remember anymore because it's been so long, and I've not ordered anything from Madeira. I know in at least 2 years or more. I don't think I've ordered anything from Madeira in a couple of years. I did order thread for specific projects that I wanted to do, and I didn't know where else to get the thread, the exact colors for that specific project that I wanted to do, and I didn't want to substitute. But that's pretty much the only time that I ever really bought uh, stuff from Madeira. Not to knock me, that was just my preference. And like I said, I bought thread and I bought a few supplies and I even bought, I think, the patch making stabilizer and all that good stuff from them. So I have shopped with them, but I just did not like the way they did the shipping situation. I want to know exactly what my bill is before I hit that button and say I'm going to pay you. And you couldn't do that. You had to hit the button saying, "Yes, I'm going to buy this order." And then when they billed you, charged your card, that's when you found out they charged you $35 for shipping or whatever the heck it was. And I'm like, that don't gel with me because I may not have wanted to get it if I knew the shipping was going to cost that much. And that part I did not like. I like to know what my entire bill is going to be before I hit the button and say, yes, I'll be able to get it somewhere else a little cheap. You can buy Madeira thread other places. You don't have to go straight to Madeira. So that's the way it is. But anyway. So, Sean, I'm so sorry you're just not coming on because I am getting ready to shut down. It is 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and tomorrow is a work day for me. Wednesday, Thursday, half day Friday, and I got stuff I got to do. I got this project that I'm working on. So all of my free time is no longer free time. I'm busy, 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 busy. So I'm trying to stay on a schedule. And again, as a reminder for those of you that may not have been here in the beginning, I will not be on Tuesday because I'm having my right eye surgery, cataract surgery, on this coming Monday. And so I'll be wearing patches and all that good stuff on my eye. And I'm not going to strain my eye that Tuesday to be on the computer. So there will be no Shirley's Wind Down Tuesday this coming Tuesday, but I will be back the following Tuesday, which will be the Tuesday before Thanksgiving. So with that being said, I'm going to go a good night to everybody. Thank you guys for stopping by. I will see those of you that are coming in tomorrow night, the Zoom people. And take care, everybody, and have a wonderfully blessed rest of your week. And we'll do this again. Bye bye.